Start recording there. Just check my audio settings, because last time I managed to fail to actually record any sound, which was a bit silly. Okay. Welcome everyone. I guess there may still be some people joining, but I'm recording this and I'll make it available. And I'm recording audio this time, so that will be there. Okay, so what are we doing? It's what I said on Monday. Let's whiz across to here and do ask questions, yeah, because it'll keep me awake and perhaps it'll be more informative. If I go to assessments, first term, you can see that there is a mock in-class test. Obviously, it's a mock, so it will be not assessed, etc. It doesn't affect your mark. If you go into there, you will find below it, in fact. So if you go into it, you can submit an answer, so you don't need that. But there is the mock in-class test file there. So I'll also put it in the module content as well, just in case people lose it. But it's under assessments down here, mock in-class test. And this is meant to be an example. So obviously not the exact same questions you will get next week of what will happen next week. Next week you'll actually be on Turnitin rather than as a Blackboard assignment, but it will be, appearing on the assessments tab as well, I believe. So it's divided up into two sections. The two sections worth half and half. So essentially section A, section B. You need to answer all the questions in section A and one question from section B. And the important thing is, well, let's wait a second. So the time to submit this will be 3 o'clock on Friday. So this is the mock one, and I've put the due date as 3 o'clock on Friday. But next week for the real one, it will be open at this time and then submit 3 o'clock on Friday. And I'm going to change the dates that are on your assessment timetable to reflect that. For some reason it says Tuesday to Thursday currently. Well, what you should find in section A, you should find a couple of questions that look more or less familiar. You've probably either they're very close to questions or examples I've put in the lectures or to assessments that you've done. So hopefully you can have a good patch at those. Put marks in, that's what's going to be worth %. So in this case, fitting through a series to find the coefficient of 3 theta. So that we didn't have an assessment, but I did go through examples very similar to that. Then finding solutions, which is very similar to the week 8 material. And then section B, a couple of questions you can choose one from, and they're related. You should be able to apply methods you've used or learnt about during the module, but they're not questions you've explicitly come across and attempted before. And in this case, I'm not so much looking for you to absolutely kill it and give the correct numerical answer, etc. What I want you to do is to explain how you see the problem, what you've done, how you've got the data in, how you've attempted it, what methods, which bits you've linked it to. And so treat it as a problem, and a bit like in a sort of a verbal oral test, explain how you've tackled it, what you've attempted to do, how you've had a go at it, explain my working. On Friday there's another session, and I'll put up some a worked example solution to a couple of these to give the kind of thing that I'm after. And so particularly for this B section, but for the whole of it, it should be like a sort of a logbook. You want some sort of statement of the question, a method, you know, what data you've got, how you've tackled it, which algorithms you're using, how you've coded it up, your actual results, your solution, your answer, then how you've tested to check that your results are correct. And, you know, the final mark will be based on sort of partly on each of these sections and how you've actually tackled the problem, more than whether you've just given that the answer is 0.1 for this one. So that's basically what I've said. For each question, give a complete answer similar to a logbook, then explaining the problems, working, references, tests. Ensure that you actually explain the algorithms. So if you do a global optimization using a built-in function from SciPy, that's okay, but you need to explain what the algorithm does. Show me that you actually understand what it's doing, what the inputs are, and what's being put out, and give the impression that you could have coded it up from scratch if you wanted to. You need to include your text, and please cut and paste in text, not an image file, because I can't do anything with an image file. Almost everyone has done that. That's great. Hi guys, yeah, sorry I forgot to open this special session for today until last minute. I am taping this so you can look at this again. And yeah, also including the outputs. Again, just to reiterate, particularly for the B sections, even if you can't get all the way to the answer, show what you understand. If you understand the maths behind it, what the mathematical problem is, put that down, explain it, and we can give you partial marks for that. So this is the practice one. We've got 2 hours now on the Friday session. I'm going to work through it. In next week's one, it will be set at this time on Wednesday, and then you'll be expected to submit by 3 o'clock on Friday. Obviously, we'll have to be relatively strict with the deadline on the Friday, because I don't want to be waiting around over the weekend, and I'm giving you quite an extended period. If anyone has problems with computers, you know, you don't think you'll be able to, you know, spend the time on it during that period, etc., let me know and we can try and work something out. I've given that longer period of time not because I expect you to spend 48 hours sat trying to do the problems. If you sit down for a couple of hours, 3 hours like a normal test, you should be able to do a good job. But just in case people are having problems with connectivity or, you know, can't work during that time period or whatever. The final one, it will be submitted on Turnitin. Please, 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 please don't go copying stuff from Tinterweb or even worse, you know, colleagues. Do it yourself. It's, you know, you should have sufficient materials to make a decent attack at it. As I say, I'm not. All the marks aren't just for getting the right answer. If you explain your process, show how you're working through the stuff, you will get a reasonable mark in any case. There's no excuse for cheating. That sounds awful at the moment, but really don't put anyone in the situation of having to do that. I don't want to say this, but there has been a couple of cases where things have been so obvious there's been no choice but to have some sort of collusion proceedings and so on. I don't want to do it. Don't do it. Please don't do it. Please, please, please. And you should all know by now, but the penalties for being a substantiated case of collusion are very severe in the third year. Just don't do it. Don't push it. Sorry, I don't want to say that. I'll shut up on that point. So this is sort of what it will look like. There'll be 2 A questions and there'll be 2 B questions. You do both the A questions. You have your pick of the 2 B questions. And as I say, make sure you explain what you're doing. You work through giving all your working. You can basically sort of, as you think through things, sort of split it up, but there'll be marks for explaining what the question's actually asking for, the method, which algorithms you're choosing, the actual results, but also how you check it, and whether there were things you could do to improve your answer. So I will go through a couple of fully worked solutions on Friday. Okay, are there any questions? What I'm going to do is treat this essentially as like a mock exam. Sit down, have a bash at it, and see how you fare. Get an idea for how long you'd need to set aside to tackle these sort of problems. I hope that's clear. Chris and I are here to answer questions. Obviously, also if there's just general revision stuff that you want to do, just drop us a line. You can globally comment here, or you can contact us directly either through the chat here, through Teams, or through internet. That's the spiel. Any questions immediately? Otherwise, I say we'll be here to answer questions throughout the session. And as I say, on Friday, I'll go through the worked solutions and put up numerical solutions to other bits.